Now that Valentine's Day is over, we can get down to the real business of winter. Long, dark nights of lonely, booze-soaked existentialism and despair. Joining me in said pursuit are three fellows well-conditioned to the task: singer-songwriter Adam Trice, resonator guitar man John Decker, and poet Steve Mattanley. Any one of these three troubadours could alone activate your tear ducts above your beer mugs, but together, as they've joined forces on the new Red Sammy album, These Poems with Kerosene, this trio is a formidable black hole of gloom, the vortex of which, lest we orbit too closely, we may never escape. Fellows, welcome to The Signal.
Oh, wow.
Thanks. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for having us.
I'm looking for an exit strategy.
So, gentlemen, do you any of you actually remember the last time you smiled?
We smile every day after band practice.
I'm poking fun, of course. You're obviously well-adjusted, happy people. You just happen to enjoy the creative catharsis of incredibly sad music and poetry. And, of course, we're going to sample a bit of this new musical and poetic collaboration in just a few moments. But first, Adam Trice, let me turn to you. You've joined our program off and on over the years as your band Red Sammy has grown and evolved. Remind us, I guess, first about the uplifting origins of your band's name, Red Sammy.
Well, you know, it's a reference to a Flannery O'Connor short story, A Good Man is Hard to Find. And we continue to go down the path of destruction, chaos, and the dark inner regions of one's soul.
To that end, Adam, I should say that about a year ago you crossed paths with a guitarist named John Decker. Let me have you introduce us here to Decker, as he's known, and tell me how you ended up in cahoots with each other.
Well, John Decker, he plays a resonator guitar. He offers his own character in that instrument, and he's really added a lot to accentuate the bare and minimalist songwriting that I'm trying to convey.
Decker, talk to me about what drew you to Adam and the music of Red Sammy.
The first thing that drew me to Adam was his poetry and the simplicity of the music. And then, with the way that I play my instrument, I seem to have found agreement, especially with the tonal qualities of his voice and sometimes the sounds that we're able to get out of this instrument gravitates to what he's trying to convey with his poetry, especially as it translates into the human condition and, how it affects us all, on our journey in life.
And now, of course, Adam Trice, to the present, you've brought another poetic voice into the fold, poet Steve Mattanley. Talk to me about Steve here. Why don't you go ahead and introduce him to listeners?
Sure. Well, Steve Mattanley and I crossed paths through the University of Baltimore when I was in graduate school. He's one of my professors in creative writing, and a few years ago we collaborated in a live performance of Steve's poetry interlaced with our songs. And that's kind of the starting point of this project and the idea that we knew the content would work. So, Steve Mattanley.
Yeah, Steve, talk to me about your poetry and the common ground that you find between the poetry you write and the kind of music you hear Adam and Decker playing.
Yeah, well, the poems that are on the CD are set mostly in bars or liquor stores. They're, I think, rooted in hard luck and loss and have a kind of melancholy stoicism about them. And I've always been a big fan of different attempts to combine music and poetry. And I keep recalling that for the ancient Greeks, lyric poetry was accompanied by a lyre or some other stringed instrument. So when I was reading the two night riffs, as they're called on the CD, that I read with Decker playing his resonator guitar, it felt like it was taking me back to a kind of ancient tradition of lyric poetry.
That's actually going to set us up perfectly to give listeners a taste of your medicine. I'm going to go ahead and play that excerpt from the new Red Sammy album, These Poems with Kerosene, and we're going to follow it with a Red Sammy song off the album as well. And before I let you go, I want to mention that you guys are celebrating the album release with a show this Sunday, February 17th. That's at the Wind Up Space on North Avenue. It's an all-ages show, 5 p.m., and the website for more details, redsammy.com. And Adam, Decker, and Steve, sincere thanks and congratulations on a really cool collaboration.
Oh, Aaron, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
I love the strange machinery of the night.
its levers and veils, its winches and invisible mirrors, reflecting the awful splendor of solitude. Sometimes I hear the sound of pulleys, like the beds of restless sleepers. Sometimes I hear the vibration of ancient wires, weird shimmering notes, haunted by the pain of love. I love the angels when they're not wearing wings and are mistaken for sleepwalkers. I love listening to the stars telling me to forget everything I know about them and just let the light go through me. I love the way the trees stand around as if waiting for somebody to ask them to dance. I love the possibility of a star falling where I happen to be looking, the ecstasy of seeing accidentally. I love my ignorance of constellations, my inability to see the imaginary lines between the stars. Only distances, immense and lonely.
Wrap me